you saw the help agent assisting the customer. Now we've moved looking a little bit forward from a sales perspective of how we can grow the business. So we're back on the website, and you see that Agentforce is here to help me right away. So I can engage, in this case, with Piper, and she is an SDR agent who's going to engage with this customer. So let's get into it.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hey, Piper. We had a pretty big storm recently and got hit by that, and we have a claim in process. That's all good. But I wanted to take a look at my coverage on my policy and see whether I need to make any changes.
Thanks for sharing that. Let's dive into your coverage. What specific areas or risks are you thinking of adjusting?
Can you show me maybe an example policy that I can take a look at and see whether I'm missing anything?
Here's an example commercial building insurance policy summary. It highlights the covered perils and a sample claim scenario. What part of your coverage are you most concerned about right now?
So before I keep going, I want you to understand that Piper knows who I am. She knows the context of the case and the claim that we filed that you saw Gotham go through already. She's asking me context-specific questions about what's going on in my business. So this is not your rote deterministic set of experience that you might have experienced in the past. So let's do one more thing. I really want to expand my coverage. Can you connect me with an agent?
Got it. Let's set you up with an agent to expand your coverage. You can pick a time that works best for you. Feel free to select a time that works for you, and we'll get everything set up.
So I'm going to go ahead there. You see, it's identified the agent.
Thanks for booking. You're all set to meet with Sam Maskin on July 22nd, 2026 at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Is there anything else you'd like to go over?
So we'll fade out from, we could continue all day with Piper. She's super nice. But she's passed my context over to Sam, who's my agent. I've booked the meeting. I'm kind of really seamless experience. So I'm going to switch personas now and think about Sam, who's getting ready for that meeting. Now, Agentforce has a number of different agents working on my behalf, and one of them is in the background. This is the prospecting agent. So what's going on here? You're seeing a list of prospects that have been identified for me, including Gotham. So it's actually done a bunch of research for me. If you look here on the right-hand side, looking across the web, what's going on in his business, the information we got from the CRM about historical opportunities, or that claim that's underway and is being handled by the service system, or the field service engagement. All of that is available to this agent as it researches that context. And it's presenting it to me as a human, so I'm getting ready for that meeting. It also presents it to an agent if there's an outbound engagement happening with that customer. So let's move into the meeting. Now, reps do not love updating the CRM. And this is one of the reasons why we invested in Momentum recently. So imagine that you're on this call. Sam is engaging with Gotham and is talking about the insurance policy options. As that call wraps up, we're pulling, instead of me capturing notes on a notepad and trying to remember to update the CRM, this is now happening automatically on my behalf. So all the information about context is being written into the CRM. Even things like your methodology, it looks like we're running multiple methodologies here, 3 Ys, MedPick. All of this is being updated on my behalf automatically. And this isn't happening for just that one opportunity. If I zoom out for a second and think about all the deals that I'm working, so I'm looking at my pipeline here, how am I going to get to my number? Maybe I'm having a conversation with my RVP. The pipeline management agent is using that same stack to keep a view on all of my deals and make sure that they're moving through the process. So you're seeing this insurance package upgrade we talked about. There are 2 suggestions coming from Agentforce here. Number 1, looks like we should be moving this through to the next stage in the sales method or in our sales process. And then also you need to remember to prepare that quote for Omega. So, and it gives you kind of rationale and where it got the signal in order to make that recommendation to the seller. So we can keep our deals moving through the pipeline. And as we progress down that pipeline, Agentforce is here to help me as well. So now I'm at that point where I want to prepare a quote, get it over to Gotham as quickly as possible. I've put in an utterance said, please create a quote, 5 premium insurance packages at a 4% discount. Let's take a look at this. And I'll ask Agentforce to bring that up, what it's prepared for me. You think about this, this is an area that's super error prone. Sellers have huge problems with this. With the more complex the set of business rules are around how your products are quoted, all the dependencies, minimum volumes, discount tiers, all that kind of thing is being handled here by Agentforce to give me an accurate quote as quickly as possible. And of course, if I want to take a look at that and engage with it here, this could also happen in your engagement. If you're working in Slack, you'd have the same experience I'm showing you here in Lightning. But if I want to make any adjustments before I hit send and get it out to the customer, then I can go ahead and do so. So let's fast forward. We sent that. We're closing the deal. This is great. Gotham is expanding his insurance coverage, so he's ready for that next storm. What happens next? Now, we talked about service, we talked about sales. Let's think about how marketing wants to engage and ensure he has a fantastic onboarding experience with that new expanded set of capabilities, new policies that we've sold him. So if you see on the right-hand side, once again, I've gone to Agentforce. I've asked it to create a campaign brief. So it's written the first sort of stump of what this campaign is going to look like. I've said, please save the brief. And this is an onboarding campaign for premium insurance. So let's take a look at what happens here. Got the metadata surrounding it, and then if we take a look at the context, you're going to see all of the actions come up in momentarily, where it's going to define the steps in the process, whether they're human outreach over which channels those are going to occur. You see that coming up right now, or whether it's handed to the engagement agent, which will conduct that multi-channel outbound engagement bidirectionally, just as you saw earlier on. To bring that customer up to speed. This is something actually Equinox is doing with Agentforce today to create great personalized, accurate onboarding experience for their new customers. So last thing, and we've shown you a lot of capabilities here, but let's remember that we need to ensure that these agents are visible. We have control, visibility, observability as to what's going on, and that's exactly what you're seeing here. So we've assigned, in this case, 78 records to that agent, and we're looking across not just the engagement it is conducting, but how the customer, in this case Gotham, is reacting. So if you see here, he's clicked on the website, he's engaged with this campaign, so we see it's working, he's getting onboarded with this new policy.